Hey, day 36 has arrived. Not like there's anything big going on today. Yesterday, I had to get a little short with the filming at the end of the day because I was just running out of data on my card, and my next card was buried all the way in the bottom of my pack. And for those of you out there who do backpacking, you know that it could take a half hour to repack your bag, depending on how tight everything is in there. So, yeah, the Virginia, right now I'm in Grayson Highlands State Park, and this is, it looks pretty barren and desolate, but it's a super awesome place. It's just great to be able to hike around. You see there's mountains out there on the horizon. It's great to be able to hike around and have big views. It's almost like being kind of out west. I mean, people say that. If I had to recommend a first backpacking trip, I would recommend Grayson Highlands. Or the whole Mount Rogers area, but you do have to do the Grayson Highlands because it's where the ponies are. You don't have to go up to the top of Mount Rogers. The top of Mount Rogers, I'm gonna break the news right now. It has no views. It's the tallest mountain and it's the highest peak in Virginia, and there are no views. But anyway, this place is awesome. It is rocky, which makes you go a little bit slower. The campsites are awesome. There are ponies that are really cute, and they'll walk right up to you. And to deal with that, if you don't want to deal with them, you just keep walking. Don't even look at them. It's kind of like a furious dog. You just kind of ignore the fact that you're being looked at. Yeah, actually, there's a pony out there in the distance. There's a bunch of them. I'll go over there. Let me get over there a little bit closer, and I'll take some footage. Not sure if you can see it, but there's 3 wild ponies right here in front of us, grazing. It appears to be a pack of males, stud horses, if you will. So that's another upside. There are ponies here. Yep, they're everywhere. Walk right up to them. They're cute. And they're hardy. You know, they live up here and it's super cold. They don't go to the vet. They don't get shoes put on their hooves. It's pretty awesome. So, one last reason this area is great for maybe a first backpacking trip is because they have bear boxes and privies at the shelters, and they even have a bear box at one of the campgrounds, like in the middle of the park, and there's water everywhere. So you just get yourself a little water filter for $25, $35, depending on which one you want, and you can come in here and have a nice little trip. Keep it light, just bring enough food for the day or the night. Come in and out, and it's beautiful, and it's really nice, and it's pretty mellow. I mean, if you want to do some big climbs, there's some big climbs over there coming out of the bottom of Mount Rogers outside of Damascus, off the Creeper Trail. Those will get your heart pumping. But all in all, I mean, this is just, it doesn't look amazing on camera, but when you're out here, it's definitely a sight to behold. It's just big land. It's like big country. So there's old Ginger. They probably get tired of people trying to pet them. I don't know. The ones that were out yesterday wouldn't leave you alone though. Maybe they start pestering you in the evening when it's getting cold out. A lot of color though. Finally, we get into some cruiser train today. So yesterday we did 24 miles. Could have been 24.1, something like that. Today we're doing 24 again. I'll tell you something. Yesterday, at about mile 9, the day got very difficult. We started getting into the top of. We started entering into the highlands portion of Mount Rogers, coming out of the kind of the Virginia Creeper Trail area. So again, the Creeper Trail is that railroad bed. You know, railroad beds always take the easiest way through the mountains. And as you started climbing out of that kind of like railroad, that old like converted railroad bed, which is a beautiful, beautiful landscape, it just turned into this like rocky mess. Pretty much that rocky mess, it started to go away about about an hour and a half ago. It's been in and out. This is like the first stretch of trail that I've seen for a long time that's been smooth and passable. I was really hating life yesterday. It was such a beautiful day and such a beautiful place to go backpacking. I was just upset about it because we decided to push through a little bit, just so that we could try to get into the town of Marion, and not get rained on all day tomorrow. So today's Thursday. Tomorrow we're gonna have a 6-mile hike. There's like a Marion rest area for hikers, and there's like a shuttle that comes kind of inconveniently, but whatever, that's fine. It's free, so I don't want to complain about it. There is a guy who we can call to shuttle us a little bit too, so we may end up doing that depending on what time we get in. But there's a shuttle at 11:15, so we're gonna catch that 11:15 shuttle. We're gonna stay at the Econo Lodge. I just learned that the Econo Lodge does not have a laundry setup, which kind of sucks, because I don't want to. I don't want to walk all over town. When we went to, check this out. Check out this bottom. It just goes way down there, and it's getting green. It's beautiful today. It's so nice to look at something other than the rocks in front of you on the trail too. FYI. We went into the town. I can't remember what town we were in. Yeah, I got my do-rag on again. Don't want to get my dome piece burned up. You know what I mean? So, yeah, what town was that? Was it Irwin? Yeah, it was Irwin. When we went into Irwin, we walked to go get Mexican food. Luckily, we zeroed in Irwin, so we stayed there 2 nights. But man, that walk to get Mexican food was over a mile, and we had already I feel like we pushed into Irwin. I can't remember. You're gonna have to go back to that day into Irwin. But I was tired. I'm always tired. We work really hard out here for whatever reason. But we pushed into Irwin, and then we walked, and then we walked again, and Irwin is the video where I'm walking down this switchback grade, taking a look at this town, this mountain town. I know that sounds like a lot of these towns that I walk into, because Hot Springs is a little like that, except there weren't any switchbacks in Hot Springs. Hot Springs is just a straight descent, and I don't think I did a 10-minute descent video into Irwin. Anyway, yeah, we got into Irwin, stayed at the hotel. It was really nice. They had laundry there. We didn't have to go anywhere. We went out once. Otherwise, we ate Dunkin' Donuts, Taco Bell, which was right next door, and Pal's, which is this phenomenal fast food joint that's right on the interstate. I think it's Interstate 26. So if you're ever passing through Irwin, do yourself a favor and go through the Pal's drive-thru. You'll think that you just time warped into the Simpsons cartoon for 5 minutes and then just got a whole pile of really great food. That place was awesome. Really well kept, brand new looking joint with a monstrous American flag, so you know it was good. Let's see. So yeah, tomorrow we're going to 6 miles in, right by the Econo Lodge, there's a Walmart. So we're going to walk over to Walmart, do a light resupply. I think we're going to resupply for like 4 or 5 days, which it ends up being like 4 or 5 days. I mean, now you're talking 10 pounds of food, maybe a little bit. I don't know. I'll let you know tomorrow what I end up mustering up. I've got it pretty dialed in what I want right now. So that's what we're doing tomorrow. And we're gonna Nero tomorrow. Then we're gonna leave the next morning. I'm just hoping they have coffee and cream and just a little bit of sugar, because that's how I like it. But man, when you show up somewhere and they don't have coffee and cream and it's like before noon, what a bummer, man. It just bums me out. I mean, I should start doing I brought coffee initially with me out here to make coffee, and then I just I never put aside the time to make coffee. And I know you can do instant coffee, with cold water or whatever, but I just don't want that coffee residue in my water bottle, so I don't do it. And I don't really have a proper coffee cup. It's just more of a pain. So I just get up in the morning, I go hiking. That's what I do. And then I eat a little bit. And then I stop for a little snack around 10 or 11. And then I stop again for another little snack. And then I stop again. And then I eat snacks while I walk. I've been eating these really handy dandy, these meat sticks. I know it's gross to see them. They're in a thing. Okay, so 2 pounds of these meat sticks is the only way you were able to buy them at Walmart, and they were $14, which I know is very expensive. I bought them at Walmart when we stopped at Carver's Gap, and I've been eating between 4 and 6 of them a day. I mean, it was just a huge pile of meat sticks. They're super handy, and it's more protein, and I just wanted to get away from too much sugar. I was eating Pop-Tarts. Look at the stream. I was eating Pop-Tarts, and I gotta stop here for a minute, guys. Woo. Alright, so I had to stop back there and just get some water. That was really nice little flow of water, and oh my lord, look at that. Oh man. Well, it looks like I got myself a new sit pad, unless somebody really, really wants it. I want it. Okay, so back to where I was. Yeah, I like maybe a good balance of carbohydrates and protein. I think that's what I'm going to shoot for this next visit to Walmart. That way I'll do 50% carbs and delicious sugary treats. Kind of like Pop-Tarts are really heavy. They're okay. I did like the oatmeal, the instant oatmeal. I just eat that straight up. I like it, and it feels like a more healthy carb. Definitely like the Little Debbie snacks. The honey buns are good. Their donut, we tried their little donuts. They're a little bit dry, but if those things were a little bit, I think I'll have to try to find some fresher ones, because we got those at the DG. So anyway, yeah, and then next thing, found that sit pad. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go to the next shelter and the next place that we stop and see if I can find out whose that is. That way they can get it back. I'm sure they just dropped it. I'm sure we're gonna find that person today, so we'll take it back. I've got a bigger sit pad, which was part of a sleeping pad that I use as a sit pad. The problem that I've got with it is it's just way too big. It fits on my backpack all awkward, and I like to be more aerodynamic, I guess, when I'm cruising. And it's wider than my body and my bag when when I have it set up. Recently I've been setting it up to oh, here's the guy right here. Let's go ask him. It might be, he may have lost it. But recently, what was I saying? Oh yeah, recently I've been setting my sleeping pad up on my backpack vertically, which it fits better and it doesn't get hung up on every tree that I walk by. But yeah, it's a big old pad, and it's like 4 sections of like the standard thermarest is what it is. I got that at the hiker box at Needles Gap. It was great, and that just it about made my week. I knew I wanted one, and if serious time, when I have to talk to the camera, if you are hiking, you should seriously consider, like, I don't like having a lot of stuff, and I hate having crap dangling off my backpack, and I hate having stuff in my backpack that I'm not using. Like I'm dying to get rid of my puffy. I'm actually dying to get rid of my sleeping bag and getting something a little bit. The problem that I've got with the sleeping bag is it just makes me sweat. Like it doesn't even have to be warm. If it just touches my skin, it makes my skin sweat. It's just this like really sticky fabric. So I'd like to change. I might change that to something a little bit like a lightweight blanket kind of thing. Send that home, and maybe just send a cold weather kit home. Try to cut. I mean, a sleeping bag only weighs 1 pound, 10 ounces. I don't know how I'm gonna get. If I can get something that's a pound, maybe that would be nice in total. Anyway, I'm gonna go talk to this guy, see if he lost his pad. All right, as I was saying, almost tripped there as soon as I pulled my camera out. Sit pad. You can stand on it when you need to change your, take your shoes off and change your pants. You can kneel on it when you're setting up the inside of your tent and there's nothing on the ground and the ground is wet. You can put it underneath your sleeping pad. What I do is I put mine underneath the butt of my sleeping pad for more insulation when it's really cold out. And it really helps. You can sit on it when you're sitting on a log by the fire. You can sit on it. I always wash mine, like, not because of my cooties, although I've got that too, but like, I wash mine because I use one side of it and I use that as like the ground side. And I always like, take some Lysol and clean it, or take some bleach water, clean it regularly, just so it doesn't pick up the next topic, norovirus. Now, I didn't. Norovirus is a stomach virus that people get out here, and you should wiki it or Google it. But it's when you get, and I'm laughing because it's funny, and I'm not above getting it. Everyone can get norovirus. Everybody carries a little bit of it. It looks like, of some sort. But it's when fecal matter gets into your mouth. And it can also be spread by other people who have norovirus. So, one of the things that we read is that 2 weeks after you're cured of norovirus is when you're the most, what's that word? When you can spread it the most. I'm at a lack of words right now. Most contagious. So, anyway, back in Damascus, I wasn't staying in Damascus. Like, every group we knew in Damascus, somebody had norovirus. So we just hopped in and hopped out real quick. And glad to be out of there. The hostels, we did a load of laundry at I can't remember the name of the hostel right now. I'll remember it later. I don't know if the hostels there are the cleanest. There's a lot of people that stop in Damascus, and then Damascus gets that big Trail Days event, which is a month from like 2 days ago. So there's a lot of cooties running around there. But anyway, we use a lot of hand sanitizer and try to keep clean. And I actually, even though I stop at the shelters and eat at the shelters and stuff, that seems like it's a good place to pick up the virus. And so far I've known maybe 4 people who've gotten it. Luckily, no one in my group that I've been traveling with since we started. They're kind of a tramley. No one in the tramley, even though we're all spread out. I'd say it's more of our group. No one in our group has gotten it yet. But yeah, it's lurking around. That's why we made a beeline out of Damascus immediately, was because if we wanted to stay there another day, someone was going to get that thing. So anyway, thoughts on that's the norovirus, and you should look it up. Is it worth not doing the trail over? No, you should definitely do the trail. It only lasts for 3 days. I mean, it's just a classic stomach ailment. I've had I had this stomach ailment called Campylobacter, and it almost killed me. And I'm not even kidding. It almost ended my life. And that thing lasted for 8 days, and I couldn't keep water in my system. I was locked to a toilet. It was like my sentence, being sentenced to a toilet seat. But you can look that one up too. I got that from raw chicken. The chicken was good, but the health department said it was from the chicken. So, I don't know. Anyway. I'm enjoying this beautiful day today. And there's Nibbles coming up here on our 6. She's hiding behind a tree. Watch out for that poop. It's a good looking little bull. Or actually, it looks like they all have horns. Huh. Virginia is beautiful, that's for sure. Yeah, that's pretty in here. Just checking out this guy's herd.